Yo, what is up YouTube? It's Sync Sports Bets here, and in today's video, I got 4 player props for the Week 10 NFL Sunday slate. Before we get into these picks here, let's go to the NFL spreadsheet for Thursday Night Football. It was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This game was literally the game of the year. Um, let's go straight into it. We had Lamar Jackson. He had 290 pass yards and 4 touchdowns with a long thrown to Tylan Wallace for 84 yards to score a touchdown. So that honestly was the play to hit Lamar Jackson's over. So that was a green out pick there. And then we had Chase Brown. We chose his rush yards, but I also let you guys know, hey, we got the receiving yards as well. You guys could also take receiving and rushing. Those both hit. But unfortunately, if we take only the rushing, that one did not hit as we predicted him to get around 16 to 20 rush attempts. He only got 13. So just poor pick there. That's on me. But everyone else hit their overs besides Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson, Derrick Henry, and Chase Brown for their specific types, just rushing or just receiving. So yeah, absolute green pick for both quarterbacks. Jamar Chase had 264 receiving yards. Joe Burrow had 428 pass yards. I know I told you guys, hey, this pick's dicey for Joe Burrow at 270. That is way too high for any quarterback. I would be a little bit scared to take that, especially against Baltimore, but he did show out and he proved us wrong with 428. So, literally such a fun game to watch. I cannot wait to hopefully see Cincinnati in the playoffs. Hopefully they can make the wild card. That would be awesome. I think their offense is just too elite with the schedule that they have to not make the playoffs. Anyway, guys, let's go straight into our picks for today. First pick of the day is going to be Tony Pollard. Now, this guy has been literally the workhorse for Tennessee Titans offense, as Will Levis has not lived up to his potential. Mason Rudolph is just obviously, you know, not going to get the job done to win some games. So we got Tony Pollard as the best player on the offense after they lost DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to take over on his rush attempts. I know it has been bumped down from 15.5 to 15. Now 15 is a pretty good line here for Tony Pollard. They do play the Chargers, who is, they're 5-3, but I'm not too scared of the Chargers honestly right now. But they are a very good team. But the only reason why I love this pick for Tony Pollard over his rush attempts is all they have to do is call this play for him to get the carries, and he does get a huge workload of the carries, and he has it over against the best team in the league, in my opinion, the Detroit Lions in the NFC. So he had 20 rush attempts, even after getting absolutely torn up in that game. They got blown out by like 30 plus points. He still had 20 rush attempts. And then against Buffalo, he had 16. Miami, he had 22. Last week, he had 28. So that's 13 extra rush attempts than his line. So I think this is a gimme pick, easy pick for Tony Pollard. Let's get straight into it to his outlier real quick. Okay, so looking here, he has hit 88% this season, 7 of 8 games. So every single game besides versus Green Bay, he only had 6 rush attempts. But I definitely think this is going to be an easy pick. I do understand that Chargers defense is ranked number 7 for rushing attempts against at a value of 23.6. Obviously, he's going to share it with some other guys. And I do see that over 15.5 is plus 110, but that's why it's been bumped down to 15. It is minus 119 now. So it is a good pick to either, push or hit the over. But looking at this rate here, he's got to hit the over. I mean, last week he had 28. They had a 22 versus the Dolphins. He has hit versus very good teams. So I love this pick here. And then scrolling down here, Tony Pollard and the Tennessee Titans offense, they run 45% of the time. As you guys can see, Tony Pollard has rushed for 142 rush attempts at a 62.3 rush share percentage. And look at this, man. He has such a huge percentage of the rushing. Tyjae Spears has just minimal right here at 33 rush attempts on the season and whatnot. I mean, the quarterbacks also don't run that much. So Tony Pollard will get most of the workload for rushing for the offense. So love this pick here. And then our second pick of the day, we're going to go with Najee Harris. This guy's absolute beast for the Steelers. He has been rushing hella lately. If you go to his last few games, he has hit over 100 yards 3 straight games at an average of 76.6. As yes, he had some bad games versus Indiana and Dallas, but they do play Washington, who is one of the worst rush teams defensively in the league. So Najee Harris is going to have a field day. Let's go to Outlier to see his stats. Okay, so in 2024, Najee Harris has hit over this line 75%, 6 of 8 games at 66.5 rush yards. So this is a very high percentage for him as he has been cashing this out, especially on fire the last 3 weeks. I think he's going to continue it. Washington's defense, like I said, rush yards allowed is ranked 29 at a value of 143. The value doesn't matter so much, but really just the rank. And scrolling down here, Najee Harris has had 136 rush attempts, 51.1 rush share percentage. They do run more than they pass at 53%. So easy pick here, especially with how good he's been playing the last 3 weeks. I think he's definitely going to get the job done versus Washington's defense. Anyways, guys, let's get into our third pick of the day. It's going to be Baker Mayfield. This guy has been cashing out at a huge percentage rate for his fantasy score at 17.5. Looking at the last 5 games, he has cashed out 5 straight games versus Kansas City, literally the best team in the league. He had 18 fantasy scores, so just enough to hit the over. And then he hit over versus Baltimore at 29. They do play San Francisco, who does have a pretty good defense, but a lot of, their starters are injured still. So I love this pick here as they should be losing and will have to come back to win this game. So let's go to Outlier to see his stats. So this year, Baker Mayfield has hit over 89%, 8 of 9 games. He hit under versus Denver at 9.52. So just a little bit above halfway, but he's only been close to hitting his under versus Kansas City last week. And I absolutely love this pick for Baker Mayfield. Odds are minus 119, so it is still a good pick nonetheless. And Baker Mayfield will throw for touchdowns. I do understand that Godwin's out, but Mike Evans will be able to get the job done as well as his other wide receivers. He loves to rush as well. He can get a rushing touchdown. And of course, he can sling it. And he's just a dog all around, especially at Oklahoma. I loved watching him there. But anyway, I love this pick. If you go to head-to-head here, yes, he hit under last year, but he has a totally different team. He's got some better wide receivers this year. So, overall, good pick for Baker Mayfield. And if you guys are not sure about the scoring chart for fantasy score, every pass yard is 0.04 points per yard. Passing touchdowns are 4 points. Interceptions are -1, as well as fumbles lost. But rushing touchdowns are 6. I do know he loves to rush that as well. 2-point conversions are 2. It's basically all you need to know. So touchdowns really boost this a lot. So I love this pick here for Baker Mayfield. And then our last pick of the day, we gotta ride with our guy Drake May. He's been cashing us out most of every week. He did get rebooted one of those weeks that he got a concussion. But Drake May has been an absolute beast. We're going to go over his pass and rushing yards. When he does have a good game, which he has been able to play a full game, he has been catching over on both of these categories, pass and rush. So as you guys can see, pass and rush, 281, 294, 301. So he's progressively been getting better. Obviously, this is the game that he got hurt, But let's look at his pass and then let's look at his rush. So passing yards, 194.5. This is one, it's going to be a little bit dicey. He doesn't throw too much, but if he's able to get those long bombs to his wide receivers, I mean, he had 276 versus Jacksonville. That clears pass and rush line by itself. Same with versus Houston. And he had such a huge rushing game last week. His line's only at 28.5. He had 95 rushing versus Tennessee. Chicago's defense is pretty banged up. They just lost their interior defensive lineman, Billings. So I definitely think Drake May will be able to run all over Chicago's defense as well as pass, as they are favored to lose this game. So Chicago should take this game. I am a huge Chicago fan. They need this win, so they have to win, or else this season is basically over versus New England. So yeah, Drake May will be down all game, needing to pass, needing to throw, more than handing off to Ramondre Stevenson. So, but anyway, guys, these are my 4 most confident picks for Sunday's slate. Make sure to lock these in before game time starts. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on notifications when I post. Sometimes I post pretty late in the night before games start. But today I'm trying to get out as early as possible so you guys can lock it in before the lines jump up. And also, if you guys enjoy seeing Outlier, link in my YouTube bio. Let's go to my YouTube real quick to show you guys where to go. So if you go to my links, we got the Outlier to be able to download on your phone. It is a 7-day free trial, $20 monthly after that. This is my specific link. That's why it says my name on there, because I am partnered with them. So that would support the channel so much if you guys are able to check it out. Literally the best sports tool for betting on player props, money lines, spreads, you name it. Outlier has everything you need. And then on the Discord, I post slips as well as my admins across all sports, college basketball, NBA, college football, and NFL mainly. And very enjoyable community over there. So make sure to check it out. We have tons of members on there. And yeah, we have been cashing out at a pretty high rate. Been a little cold this past week, but we're going to get right back on track with these picks here. So make sure to lock them in. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.